Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Evelyn here. Yeah, with shorter hair and it's down, and I've had a mess about with a curling tongue today, and anyway. Yeah, so it feels like it's been such a long time, and I said that last video. I've got a cup of tea, so I'm gonna take a sip every now and again. It feels like it's been such a long time. I think my last video was a week ago, longer than a week ago. And thank you so much everyone who did a video response to that. It was brilliant. I've watched everyone that I've seen, like everyone that popped up, and I've really enjoyed everyone's responses. And when I did it, I mean, yes, of course, I knew that the questions were sort of like meant to give you some insight into some maybe negative things going on in your life, but I never thought of calling that shadow work, which of course I mean it's silly, because thinking about it, yes, it would be, wouldn't it? But when I hear the word shadow work, I always think about like long and deep, and like, you know, you take your time, and you know, it takes a while to do that, not just a one-off tarot spread. But yeah, so thank you everyone who watched the video, who replied to the video, and everyone who did a video response. I've also seen a couple of people doing spreads on Instagram, which is brilliant. Thank you so much. It really warmed my heart to see everyone doing that. It was really cool. I kept my fiance was off for the last couple of days, and I kept going like, oh, there's another one, oh, there's another one, look, there's another one who did my spread, oh. And I was really, like, you know, really made me really happy, so thank you very much. Yeah, and then this morning I watched lovely Leisa of TarotAlchemist, her video on her spiritual path, and I decided to sit down and do a video response to that. So yeah, this is going to be maybe a bit longer video than the last couple of ones have been. And you're on the wonk. I've been messing about with the tripod, and I really need to mark where to put the tripod, because I always keep messing about with it and I never get it the way I really want it. But yeah, anyway, it's mint tea because it's after dinner, and I really like my mint tea after dinner. My spiritual path. I have talked about this in Diana of Mystical Haven. She did a video, a couple of months ago, about your path to tarot. And in that I explained that years and years ago I was part of an online coven, and we got together a couple of times for some Sabbats, and we discussed things online on a forum, and after a while that all just fell apart, and yeah, we all kind of moved on. I kept in touch with a couple of people, but that was about it. Which is a shame, but you know, that's the way things go sometimes, and you know, letting go and deciding what you want and what your vision is about certain things is growth, I think. It's how you learn, and how you decide what you actually want to do without any pressure from anyone, or that kind of thing. Because I did feel like that a little bit. It was a Wiccan group, or at least that's what some people wanted to make it, which meant that there was talk about initiations, and a lot of god and goddess stuff, a lot of religion-ish type things thrown in, and that just didn't gel with me. I work with energy, but not necessarily gods and goddesses, and I don't call upon goddess XYZ or anything like that. I will use energies from nature, which some people would claim or would say, like, but that is the goddess that you're connecting to, or spirit that you're connecting to. But I don't see it that way. I don't know. I find that difficult. Those kind of labels, I find that difficult. I have, however, always connected to the word witch, which a lot of people don't, or like hex, really. Hex, H-E-K-S, is the Dutch word for witch. And that goes back a long time. When I was in primary school, I always had the long dark hair, and there's a series of books, Vip, Nose and Pim, about two little gnomes, and one of their enemies is Grega Graga, a witch who lives just outside the village. And on Friday afternoons, we were allowed in school to do little plays and like do a little performance for the class. And a couple of times, me and my friends would prepare a little play, and I would be Grega Graga, and my friends would be Vip, Nose and Pim, the little gnomes, and there was like little characters throughout the book. And yeah, we'd play little scenes from those book series. So yeah, that goes back a long time. My dad even made me a broom with one of those like see-through fish lines, so I could like bring it to life. Like I would be asleep and I would pull on it so the broom would start to move and things like that. Yeah. So I've always sort of connected to that, but the real sort of witchy stuff, I've always had that difficulty between being very down to earth and very practical and very no nonsense and that kind of thing, and being interested in the spiritual side of things, and at times when that spiritual side of things would call me and I would be really interested, and then halfway through I would be like, oh, don't be so silly, that doesn't exist. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's just what? No. Like, you know, I'd get really interested in crystals and stuff like that, and you know those like gumball machines that you put a little coin in and you twist around and you get your sweeties. You have those for crystals sometimes, and in shops. Excuse me. And I used to love like putting in like a little and just getting new stones. And I would really feel connected to whatever energy the book would tell me, or the little note attached to the gumball machine would tell me that that stone was meant to give, and I would be really interested in that, and then, you know, half a day later I'd be like, oh, that's not real, that's just me imagining things. So yeah, and I still, even though I'm really into tarot and I absolutely believe in it, and I've had more than once that readings have been spot on, even like in my readings for other people that I've done so far, not too many, but I've done a couple now. People have said like, oh, that really resonated, and you know, so I know that is real. Sometimes in the back of my mind there is still that little voice going, nah, that's just you trying to manipulate things and you know. So I've always found that difficult. Plus, there's also having a path and sticking to it. I've got problems with that as well. There's just too many things that I'm interested in. So the lovely Chase of Two of Owls, his channel. He talks an awful lot about his Native American path, and I think that's absolutely beautiful, because that is his path. And yeah, I think that's amazing when you've got your animal totem and you work with those energies, and you've got all that history to look back on and use, and you know, there's so much there that you can work with. And I'm quite eclectic when it comes to witchcraft and my path, and so I pick little bits here and there. So yes, I am interested in the Native American path. Would I go for just that? No, because I'm not Native American, and I would feel a bit silly if I were to go like full on with that. Plus, I love my runes. Would I go completely Norse witch like Elle from Sacred Seed? No, because I would miss out on other things. So I pick little bits here and there, and that as much as I enjoy that, it also makes it maybe a little bit more difficult to like find my way. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just like thinking out loud here. I haven't prepared anything, I'm just rambling a bit. Sorry about that. When it comes to because Chase also did a video yesterday, I think, yeah, yesterday, about manifestation, both in the mundane everyday world and in the magical world. And it was a very interesting video. I will link to that as well. And he yeah, he talked about like what is manifestation and how to do this and how he does it and that kind of thing. And I said in the comments, a thought or an idea without putting in any energy will just remain a thought or an idea, and I'll stand by that. And but I don't do a lot of manifestation anymore. I used to do my little circle, I cast my little circle, and without like the corners and the gods and the god and goddess, because I left that out because that just didn't feel right to me. But I did call the elements, yeah, I would feel really good about being in my little circle. And even when I did it outside, it would feel sort of like my own little bubble, my own little world. It even felt like other people couldn't see me, which of course is ridiculous because other people do. But I felt like shielded, like not protected, because that's not, but at the same time it was kind of protection. It would keep things out that I didn't want to come in. But yeah, I've stopped doing that really. The whole ritual side of things, I don't do rituals as much anymore, because it started to feel a bit TV witch-y. We are currently watching Salem, which is a great series. I don't know how I missed it. It's on the third season, I think, third or fourth. I don't know if it's been continued, but we are halfway the second season, and they do an awful lot of like blood sacrifice and you know, all that, and casting circles and doing the whole rhymey yeah, all the little rhymes for their spell work and that kind of thing, and it's all very dramatic and yeah, like I said, TV, Hollywood witches, and I really enjoyed that, but at the same time it made me feel a bit fake. I don't know, I find it difficult. So most of my manifestations is like in my head, and like, even though it's like I said, thoughts without energy, it's just a thought, I would put in energy, but I wouldn't like do any blood sacrifice or any like laying out certain things or burning things or doing anything like that anymore. And it's like the older I get, the less I need, and I've always believed that you are the only tool that you need. You don't need anything else. You is enough. You are enough. And I've mentioned that before in a previous video as well, I think, and I still believe that you can have every single shiny object that you could possibly want. You could have the perfect, like straight from the book altar, and have all the tools and everything like shiny and new and beautiful and amazing, and you'd still not be able to perform any magic, not to perform any like rituals, you wouldn't be able to do anything, because you aren't in it. Does that make sense? Yeah, like your intentions and your energy are far more important than any tool you could possibly have. When I moved to the UK, I had to leave an awful lot of stuff behind. I came here with 2 suitcases and a bag, and that was mostly clothes and like photo albums and stuff like that. Like, I really had to pare down what I thought was important, and a lot of my witchy stuff was left behind because I just didn't feel important, that was important enough to take up the space. And I consider it like lost in the fire, because that makes it easier for me to deal with that loss. But I never really, because in my mind I was like, well, I can always repurchase or redo things. Like I've started a book of shadows, which, thinking about what that was like, it was just crap. And I always thought, like, well, I could start that again, but in reality I don't I like the idea of a book of shadows, but I don't have one. And I write stuff down, like I've got more of a book of mirrors kind of thing, where I write things down that I've done, but I haven't, or that I'm planning on doing, or meditations that I've done, or that kind of thing. But yeah, not in the sense that I write things down and that becomes my rule book, like this is how I do this ritual, this is how I do that ritual, this is, that kind of thing. This is too rambly, isn't it? Right, so to sort of sum this up, my spiritual path. is, I can't really put a label to it. It's eclectic. It's little bits of this and little bits of that, and like I said, I still suffer. Not suffer. That's a bit too strong. But I still I'm sort of 1 foot in this, 1 foot in that, and as in, like, oh, don't be so silly, and oh yeah, I'm really totally into this. But the I'm really totally into this side is sort of like I'm leaning more and more to that. And my fiance is you know, even though he likes to make fun of me, he does really he is really interested and supportive, so that's really nice. But yeah, tarot for me is the way to go, and that is in the last almost 2 years it's become such a huge part of my life. So do I still consider myself a witch? I've said that before as well. I don't call myself a witch, but I do witchy things. And do I use tarot for divinatory reasons? Not really, because I don't predict the future or anything like that. I liked what Leisa said. I think it was a comment on Facebook or something, where your future is a moving target. So even by us just talking, or me doing a reading, your future might change. So it's not like you could say like this is definitely going to happen, but the most you could say is if nothing was to change, this would likely happen. But of course things do change. They change all the time. Every step you take, you make a decision. But that's a whole nother video. So yeah, my path is definitely not a straight one. Is it labyrinth? Maybe. Because I do go sort of like and I love the film The Labyrinth. But yeah, there definitely is more going on than just what we can see. I don't use any god and goddesses, not that kind of energy. I do call on like nature. I do love clouds scrying, although I don't always put divinatory meanings to the clouds. I just love like seeing what's out there, which at the moment is just grey and miserable. Lovely, it's almost August. But yeah, it's not a clear cut, this is what I am, this is my little label, this is I can say like, oh, I am a such and such and such and such. No, I'm all kinds and jumbled and as hectic and rambly as this video has been, because yeah, maybe I should have put a couple of notes down and that would have been easier. If you made it this far, thank you so very much for watching. It really means a lot that people do watch my videos and seem to like them, and that's really, really much appreciated, and thank you so very much. I hope to see you again soon. I can't make any promises because, you know, tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, keep your fingers crossed for some good weather, alright? I don't need it to be a heat wave or anything like that, you know, just a nice 22, 23 degrees Celsius would be nice. You know, a little bit of sunshine. because it's done nothing but rain for the last couple of weeks. So yeah, and it's been cold. Anyway, enough. I'm gonna stop this video now, and uploading is gonna take ages because it's been, what, 20 minutes or so. So yeah, again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye. Hi everyone, just to add a little bit to that very rambly video, sorry for that. I just did a which country best fits your personality test on Facebook, and my result was India. Now listen to this. You are driven in life by the search for meaning and have a passion for culture and religion. You are a deeply spiritual person who thrives in an environment where people question their existence and devote themselves to a higher sense of being. You enjoy a stimulating environment and do best when you are challenged mentally and spiritually. You see life as an adventure and enjoy conversing with others on the big philosophical questions of life. Whether you are spending time in a bustling market or meditating in a quiet garden, you are nourished by a society that is devoting to serving others. I thought that was quite apt for what I was rambling on earlier on. So yeah, I will see you again very soon. Bye!